I believe a lot of us have fed into a lie of thinking that emotions are something that we should be afraid of. Some emotions something that we should be running away from, when in actuality, what's up, my name is Christian. Welcome to my channel where I make content about mental health and social issues, all from a biblical perspective, so that you can heal, grow, and make an impact on your community and the world as Christ intended. I'm not exactly sure why it is, but for such a long time, the concept or even the idea of emotions made me incredibly uncomfortable. And then on top of that, as a follower of Christ for a while, I really thought that even feeling emotions, certain emotions, was sinful, or even engaging with certain emotions was sinful, even if I could logically make out how it made sense for me to feel that way. In fact, something I vividly remember that completely changed my perspective on emotions and how I dealt with my own is that one night I was talking to God, really frustrated how I was feeling these emotions about how someone hurt me, and I was upset that I was angry. I was upset that I was upset. And then I told God that those emotions made me feel weak. And God responded by asking me, I have emotions. Do you think I'm weak? And honestly, that really just made me shut up and reevaluate how I saw emotions, how I interacted with my emotions. And it led me down a path of God led me down a path of working with my emotions and not being afraid of them. I kind of gave away the first point in the intro of this video actually, and that is to remember that we have emotions because God has emotions. And in this video, I'm just going to discuss some things that I've learned, how you can practically deal with uncomfortable emotions and not be afraid of them, all from a biblical perspective. In Genesis 1:27, it reads, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them." Now, this is to say that our emotions is a part of our nature because it's a part of the nature of God. It's something that we shouldn't fear. It's something that we shouldn't try to beat down and try to ignore. Instead, we should be seeking to control our emotions rather than fearing them or rather than questioning why we have them. I believe a lot of us have fed into a lie of thinking that emotions are something that we should be afraid of. Some emotions something that we should be running away from, when in actuality, God has demonstrated his emotions all throughout scripture. And in actuality, our emotions can lead us to do the things that God has called us to do. Where when we have a righteous anger, we can be led to do things that led to make changes, led to help others, led to help the low and needy, or when we feel sadness, those are things that can lead us to do the work of Christ. And we see how God has emotions in John 11:35, one of the shortest verses in the Bible. Jesus wept. Those two words have so much impact because it shows how God came down to earth, and even being 100% man, 100% God, still felt emotions, still felt moved by those who were in sorrow, those who were in mourning. The second thing to really keep in mind is that bad emotions don't really go away. They just manifest in different forms. It is really easy for us to think because we ignore our emotions, or something has been such a long time since a certain event that it's handled, when in actuality, other areas of our lives, unbeknownst to us, are suffering or are being hurt because we never handled our emotions to begin with. You can't outrun forever. We have to be able to address our emotions even if we don't like what we're seeing. But that is when we can lean into God's nature, God's character, God's strength, God's mercy to help us do that, because we can't do it on our own. And God never asked us to do it on our own either. And this is actually a topic I broke down a little bit in my newsletter, where I discussed how it is important for us to recognize when we are not feeling okay, accept that, and move forward with God, allowing God to help us. And if you're not already a part of my newsletter, I invite you to join down below in the description. The link will be right there. And honestly speaking, even though I was extremely reluctant to talk to God about my emotions, to talk to God about the silent suffering I was going through inside of my heart, doing that, having that conversation with God, opening my heart and allowing God in, led to a deeper intimacy, led to a deeper relationship, which is something that all of us really do crave. I think sometimes in our limited human minds, we think that God can't possibly understand how much suffering that we're going through, how much trauma is inside of our hearts, or how, because we block off other people because it's so complex. But have peace in knowing that God understands, and God understands even better than you, to the point where he can lead you through it and out of it. We have no reason to stress about how God is going to go about doing it, or how is God going to handle this trauma, or I'm really broken here. Is this too much for God? And instead of just stressing about how it's going to happen or what it's going to look like, just go to God. He will lead you through it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I pray that this video was a blessing to you and will help you in your walk with Christ. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And go ahead and click the link in the description to join my newsletter. I'm really excited about it. And I plan on talking about some exclusive things for the newsletter only, like updates on the book I'm writing right now for my Christians with ADHD. And a question I have for y'all is, what is an emotion that's really causing an issue in your life that you need to confront with God's help? You're gonna find my answer pinned down below in the comments. And if you do need help with dealing with things like anxiety in your life, you can click right here. Or if you have frustrations actually towards God, I made a video on that as well. You can click right here. Remember, you got this because God's got you. Peace out.